So as I'm assuming most of you guys have seen that the Witcher 3 DLC upgrade for the new gen consoles has been delayed again for later in Q2. So guess what? We're going to move on past that and dive back into The Witcher 4 since there's no news on that DLC. Now, this is an interesting video. I found two articles we're going to dive into, and then, as we always do, share our thoughts. One is why The Witcher 4 doesn't need Geralt, and three directions The Witcher 4 can take that game. So I think they go pretty good hand in hand. We're going to get right into it. The articles we're pulling are from Screen Rant and from PCGames.com. Now, if you guys do enjoy the video, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing here if you guys are new to the channel and enjoy all the gaming news we cover here. And turn on that notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. Let's get right into it. So like I said, the first article we're going to start with is The Witcher 4 doesn't need Geralt. It said The Witcher 3 served as a final farewell to Geralt of Rivia, but with the talk of The Witcher 4, is there a need for the Monster Slayer to return? Now this article is written by Trent Neilgrove, and it starts off by saying, ever since The Witcher 3's release back in May 2015, fans have speculated on possible fourth entry in the series, but there are several good reasons why protagonist Geralt should not return for it. Geralt has been the main character for all of the Witcher games, which follow on from him also being the main character in the series of books by a Polish author, Andrzej Sapkowski, upon which the games follow up from. Players from all three games will doubtless have built up a connection with Geralt over the course of these games, so it might be surprising to some fans to learn that Geralt almost wasn't even in The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 story more closely tied with the books than either of the previous two games, featuring many characters not yet encountered in games such as Ciri and Yennefer, while also the familiar faces from the previous games, as well as the impacts of some of the major decisions, particularly from The Witcher 2. The Witcher 4 has been discussed by fans, with the Polish developers CD Projekt Red all but confirming its existence over the last 7 years, although there has been no official confirmation yet, which I guess this article came out a little bit before the actual announcement of the new Witcher game. The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion served up to be explicitly tie up Geralt's story, with the DLC culminating Geralt owning a vineyard in his own, accompanied by either his romantic partner of choice or, depending on the player's choices, rather of his companions. Regardless of what the player chooses, it's clear that CD Projekt Red wants to have Geralt hung up his boots and retire from the life of monster slaying for good. The Witcher 4 should instead focus on its energies on another protagonist and let him get some rest, especially given some of the weird quests Geralt took in Witcher 3. The Witcher 4 has a few options when it comes to setting and main character, but all of the most interesting options don't need Geralt to succeed. CD Projekt Red could opt to see The Witcher 4 in the centuries before the events of the first three games, when the Witchers were more commonplace. This could potentially give players the ability to create their own characters while remaining friendly to the established lore. There would also be a potential to explore the different Witcher schools in greater detail than was possible in The Witcher 3. The possibility of having the choice of several different starting life paths, similar to Cyberpunk 2077, CD Projekt Red's other big title. There's even an option of having a player not be a Witcher at all, although admittedly on paper this does sound like a strange choice. The Witcher 3 showed that in addition to Witchers, sorceresses and formidable fighters could also be well worthy of crafting a story around. There are also options for some of the non-human races, such as the elves and dwarves, that could be explored with factions such as a social type for further examination. It does seem unlikely that CD Projekt Red will want to make a big departure for the mainline Witcher entry, however, especially given the importance of the alchemy in Witcher 3 and the preparation of and use of the Witcher brews and oils are seen by many as a key part of the game. So now diving into the three possible directions The Witcher 4 could go in, now that we've kind of discussed that The Witcher 4 doesn't need Geralt, they're basically said Geralt's stories, like the developers have said that Geralt's story is completed. So again, the article is called The Three Possible Directions The Witcher 4 Could Go In. It's written by Jody McGregor, and it says, which Witcher do you want to be next? A new Witcher game is in development, and it will be kicking off a new saga for the franchise, in the words of CD Projekt Red. What does that mean? To spoil the ending of The Witcher 3's final DLC, Blood and Wine, we know that Geralt is a semi-retired vineyard owner these days, having settled down with whichever love interest you choose, or neither of them if you goofed the romance. So who and what will this upcoming game, the one that won't be called The Witcher 4, but we don't have a better name for it yet, be about? Let's fire up the speculation engine and see what pops out. So option number one, it'll be about Ciri. If the Witcher medallion in the announcement represents a redesigned look for the School of the Cat, that could be a suggestion that Ciri will be the protagonist. She wears a School of Cat medallion, having taken it from the bounty hunter in the books, which replaces Geralt's School of the Wolf medallion next to the health bar in parts of The Witcher 3 where you play as Ciri. If it's not a new look for the School of the Cat and CD Projekt Red is adding a new Lynx-themed Witcher school to the lore, perhaps it's one with different requirements for entry and one Ciri could officially join, despite not having gone through the standard Witcher trials. Either way, that medallion's lying in snow, which Ciri thematically connects to. Having Ciri as a protagonist presents a few problems, but not insurmountable ones. She doesn't use signs or drink potions, and can teleport, so combat would be quite different. Of course, combat's been completely redesigned in every Witcher game so far, and we did get to play as Ciri in The Witcher 3 already. More of an issue for some players is that continuing Ciri's story would mean choosing which of The Witcher 3's endings is canonical. It's going to be the one where Ciri becomes a Witcher, of course, and it's the ending with the most obviously sets up another video game, and it's already the one chosen by the Witcher comic books CD Projekt Red collaborated with Dark Horse Comics to create. Option number 2, you'll get to create your own Witcher. On the other hand, CD Projekt Red will let players make a V of their own for Cyberpunk 2077. What if the next Witcher game let players design a Witcher? One who joins a new Witcher school that welcomes men and women and elves and dwarves and the people who push the cheekbone slider too far and will regret it for the next 60 hours or so. That would free the writers from having to choose which of the Witcher 3's endings is the real one and let them make a game about a Witcher doing Witcher things without having to worry as much as about contradicting the existing lore. It could also build a new set of cast of characters CD Projekt Red would own the rights to, while maintaining a sense of continuity by bringing back elements of The Witcher 3 like contracts, Witcher senses, alchemy, and Gwent. Imagine if, at the end of a long Gwent tournament storyline, you made self-protagonist got ready to face the ultimate Grand Master, at which point you heard Geralt say, "Deal me in," and then that was his only appearance in the entire game. The thing is, what makes the Witcher games stand out from other RPGs is that they don't let you play an undefined hero who can be whatever they want. The role-playing in them is about interpreting an existing character, but deciding what kind of Geralt you want to be. To lose that would be to lose a significant part of their appeal. Option number 3, it'll have multiple protagonists. What if being able to play as Ciri in The Witcher 3 wasn't a suggestion, that we'd get to play her more fully in a sequel, but that a sequel would also have more than one playable character? Here's a way to make people who want a game about Ciri happy while also keeping The Witcher 3 signs and potions gameplay intact. Perhaps fan favorite Witcher Lambert could be another playable character, or Eskel. It could be a full ensemble game with another character taking the role of a sorceress who gets a dedicated magic system to play around with, or the shape-changing Doppler or an ordinary peasant way out of their depth. That could be a lot of fun and reflect the way the original stories about Geralt became a series of novels that frequently spent chapters away from his point of view, following the other characters and giving them the setting its sense of richness. Or maybe it's a prequel about young Vesemir, and then it says, and honestly, we're just spitballing, it could probably be the Ciri one too. So for me, I full-heartedly agree that The Witcher 4, working title, doesn't need Geralt. They said his story's done. I'm sticking with that. Now, seeing the way The Witcher 4 can go, like I said, I think, one, build your own character, I think would be really interesting. However, like they said, it's not really part of what CD Projekt Red does in this. They like giving you a protagonist, and you can kind of choose their adventure and interpret that character how you want to. But creating your own Witcher in this game, in this universe, and like choosing your school path and all the different abilities that come with that would be a really cool option. I think it'd make it really immersive. However, playing with Ciri in The Witcher 3 was awesome too. She has really cool abilities that you can test out, and I mean, it's not the same as Geralt's using the signs and whatnot, but the teleportation and like just doing that little dash attack is really cool. So I mean, she can have a fun gameplay if they can kind of come up with a story for her. However, the one that seems the most likely to me is going to be the young Vesemir one. Given that they put that animated movie out on Netflix about a young Vesemir, kind of building that story up. This new Witcher game is like really confusing, and we really don't know where it could go, but it's just fun speculating on it, even though we're not probably going to see it for another 4 years, unfortunately. But I want to know what you guys' thoughts are down below. Given these four, paths the game can go, which one do you prefer? Or do you think The Witcher 4 needs Geralt? Let us just know in the comments down below. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys did enjoy the Witcher content we put out today. I thought it was pretty good articles, so I'm glad we got to dive into it. New thing I want to start is if you leave a comment down below, I want to feature one comment every video. So if you leave a comment, you have a chance to be featured in the next video. It's just like the comment of the day, and we're going to continue to do that just to shout out you guys who do take the time to leave a comment on these videos. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing here if you guys do enjoy all the gaming news we cover, and just turn on the notification bell so you guys never miss an upload. As always, my name is Ross, and I will see you guys in the next video.